Hey there. So today I'm going to show you how to composite or combine multiple images using Node's Jimp package. So I've already got a project folder set up here. You can see we've got a blank JavaScript file called composite.js, as well as a folder full of images. We've got a background image here, and that's just going to be a photograph, as well as a banner with a transparent background and a logo with a transparent background. And we're going to lay those two images on top of the background image and write it as a new image. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we'll do is require Jimp. And actually, let's go ahead and also initialize npm. And then we'll install Jimp for this project. All right, so if you're familiar at all with using Jimp, you might know that usually when you start out, you call Jimp read, and that's how you start working with an image. So it would look something like Jimp read images slash background.jpg. And then from there, we can go ahead and work with that image and, do some stuff. So in the case of using Jimp's composite feature, we're working with multiple images, which means that we need to have Jimp read all of those before we can start with our images. So you could do something like this. You could go ahead and call Jimp read again inside this function, but then we start getting kind of messy, and it's just going to get worse the more images that you're working with. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to take advantage of Node's promise feature, and we're going to be able to have all of those read, wait till they're read, and then actually work with them. So first, we'll put all of our images into an array, and that's just going to make it a little bit easier to work with. And then we'll create a blank array, and that's going to hold all of our promises. And I'm just going to call it Jimps, because ultimately that's going to hold our promises for our Jimp read functions. And then we're going to loop through our images array. And rather than just calling Jimp read, we're going to instead call Jimp read on each of those images and then push that into our array of promises, that Jimps array. And so if we console log Jimps, we'll actually see that it's not holding direct references to objects or our read images. Instead, it's holding these pending promises. We haven't actually cashed in on those yet. Instead, they're just kind of waiting for us to call them. So we'll use node promise.all in order to actually do those promises and get started working with them. So we'll call promise.all on that array called Jimps. And then that's going to give us some data that we'll ultimately be working with. Now, one thing with promise.all is that you do need to explicitly return it. So we'll do that here. And then we can actually work with that data And that's going to be our Jimp images that are fully read and ready to go. So we're going to use data at index 0, and that's our first Jimp image. And we're going to call Jimp's composite function on that. The first argument is going to be the image that we want to composite on top of it, and that's going to be the second image in that array. And then Jimp asks for a couple of coordinates. So we're going to use 0, 0. And that's just the top left of the image. All of our images are the same size. So for this purpose, that's going to be fine. And then we'll go ahead and call composite again on the last image that we have. And same thing here, 0, 0 are going to be the coordinates. And then finally, we can actually go ahead and write the changes that we've made to that image. And we'll create a new directory here and just call it final images. And we're going to name this file test.png. And then actually let's go ahead and also add in a little callback here just to let us know that we've successfully written an image. So we'll just have that console log. And then if we go ahead and run that, we should successfully composite an image. And yeah, as you can see, that worked. We've now got an image that we can go ahead and use, and we've got a programmatic way to work with multiple images in Jimp. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like to see more of, feel free to let me know. And thanks so much for watching.